The evidence is starting to trickle in. People are starting to worry gridlock in Washington will hurt the economy. Find out how you can get ready for it next on CNN Newsroom. Thanks there, Christina. If you weren't sure, gridlock in Washington is trickling down to Main Street. The first piece of evidence is in. A new survey shows U.S. consumer sentiment is at its lowest level in 9 months. People seem worried about the economy, that it could take a hit. I want to bring in a few people to talk about this. Scott Blyer is an investment strategist. He joins us from New York. And Karen Lee is a certified financial planner here with us in Atlanta. So let's start with what we know. Consumer confidence is slipping. Scott, what's the immediate consequence of lower consumer confidence?
Well, consumer confidence is tied directly to the stock market. And if you want to know when this civil war in Washington is going to end, it's really simple. When the market says it ends by tanking and dropping and making everybody upset and afraid, when that happens, all our representatives will be forced to make a deal to get things going. Somebody in the administration once said, "We never let a good crisis go to waste. One side is trying to break the other. The market will break the impasse." And over the past couple of weeks, the Dow dropped 1,000 points. But this week, when the president appointed Janet Yellen to the Fed as the head of the Federal Reserve, the market rallied 500 points in 2 trading days, kind of taking the pressure off the politicians just for the moment, though.
And Karen, you're doing financial planning here in Atlanta. Are people coming into your office just freaking out?
Well, strangely, they're not, Miguel, but I think it's because we've been there, done that. I mean, 08, 09, yeah, it was scary, but we made it through it. We stuck with our investment strategies, and we made it through it. So I can't say people are terribly nervous. Are they upset with the government? Yes.
And, Scott, I take it what you seem to be saying is stay calm for now, keep your money in the market, don't do anything crazy.
Well, listen, you have to constantly review your portfolio, whether you're a small investor or a large investor. And remember, this year has been front-loaded. Most of the gains have come early in the year, and we've been kind of marching, doing a little dance, a sideways dance, for the past couple of months. But historically, the market tends to rally at the end of the year from Thanksgiving into the new year, and a lot of people want to bet on that, and they're going to chase performance to try to catch up to the markets. But you still need to review your own personal portfolio and decide what's best for you without doing anything rash or brash because of headline risk. Listen, this too shall pass. Do what's best for you, and don't let your emotions run away with you.
You're an optimist, my friend. Karen, my heart is palpitating. I'm sweating here. Should I take all my money out of my 401k and put it in my under my mattress?
I would go back to our investment basics. First of all, we all should be having 3 to 6 months minimum cash set aside to pay our bills. That includes our government non-essential workers. You have to have that to rely on. 2, you shouldn't have money in the market that you need over the next 3 to 5 years. So, Miguel, I would ask you, are you planning on using your 401k in sooner than 5 years? My guess is the answer is no.
I hope not.
Exactly. So I agree with Scott. We've got to stay consistent with our investment strategies. Do not panic. Stay calm. If you're the little guy investing in your 401k and this market turns south, you invest right into that downward spiral, and you're going to get your best upward potential when it turns around.
All right. Scott Blyer, Karen Lee, thank you very much. In just a minute, we're going to put these guys on the hot seat to get their best advice about what you can do to get ready in case the economy hits the skids again. Unhappy voters. Before the break, we were talking about how gridlock in Washington is actually starting to trickle down to Main Street. We're now starting to see consumer confidence slipping. Joining me again is investment strategist Scott Blyer and certified financial planner Karen Lee. Let's talk more about what people should do to get ready for a jolt to the economy. What do you think that should be, Scott?
Well, the first thing you should do is, as Karen said, always have some cash. Now, not everybody can give themselves a cushion of cash. What's happening in Washington, if you're not tied to the 22% of the GDP that the government spends for your bread and butter, you should just sit back and watch and enjoy the show and know that eventually it's going to be settled, but it's going to be rancorous, and it's going to continue to make lots of headlines. Again, The market is ignoring this mostly because the Federal Reserve is the greatest enabler of a dysfunctional government by printing money and buying assets. And as long as they do that, they're giving cover to politicians. As long as they do that, the politicians can continue to be dysfunctional. If you're an individual investor, get your dollars ready. And lots of people like to buy what's new and what's hot and what's moving. I advise against that, because that's a very good way to get confused, especially in volatility. I have two words: health care. Health care. This is what this fight is about. That's part of what the fight is about. And that is an area in the market that is virtually recession-proof if the market and the economy should slow down. Big yields, lots of innovation, and government will spend on medicine and medicines no matter what.
And Karen, one thing you say is to have 3 to 6 months cash reserves in case of an emergency. Most people don't have that, though, and aren't able to have that.
Right.
Is the message just to stay calm, try to keep things where they are right now and wade through this?
Well, absolutely. And if you can't get that 3 to 6 months, then make sure you have some credit available that you haven't used, whether that's a home equity loan, your credit card. I hate to say that, but you're right. Some people can't get it together. But I agree 100% with Scott. Stay calm. Don't panic. This too shall pass. We've been here before, and we'll have more of this in our future.
All right. Karen Lee, Scott Blyer, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck to everybody in the market.